What's going on, Cosplay Fanatic? We back one more time. Every nerd's favorite comic, Sam Ridley, your host. I got the Jack of all nerds crew in the building, and we got a special guest with us today, Marie Watchke, doing work over here. She's a stand-up comic in the LA area. Make sure y'all check her out. We're talking DC today. DC Comics, everything. What's your favorite, what you like, what you don't like, any part of it, any of the movies you feel like they messed up your favorite character on. Make sure you send us feedback after you see the show, so maybe we can get you on, get some of your comments in. So make sure you hit us up with your feedback so that we know what you like, what you don't like in DC, if there's anything they messed up or anything you'd like to see them do. Alright, I'm going to turn it over to my man over here from Jack of all nerds, Mr. Michael Maxwell. What you like?
Well, obviously, I think everybody loves Batman.
I think that was just him going, I hate Batman, fuck this, stop.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big Batman fan. I'm actually more of a fan of the Joker. If anybody who knows me knows that I think Batman has great villains, which is really what sets him apart, I think, from most other heroes.
I agree.
Yeah. I'll piggyback on that. In the DC universe, I mean, Batman is probably my favorite, but I think the one thing that really does set Batman apart is that all of his villains are almost more iconic than Batman. Like the villains in his universe, like everybody knows who the Joker is. Most people know, Catwoman and Penguin and Two-Face and the Riddler, Bane, like even some of the smaller characters, like if you're even into DC even just a little bit, those are the characters that you really enjoy. So I think that's what makes Batman such a great character, is really just his villains are awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I feel like it's because Batman's kind of lame. Like his villains have like
Get
their
out.
background stories.
You think it's because Batman is more lame that it makes his villain shine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
I've heard a lot of people call Superman lame, but I've never heard someone call him Batman.
Yeah, I gotta hear more about this. Like, give me your three reasons he's lame. Go.
Man, I've got three reasons. I just got one.
Okay.
If you can't get past the anger stage, okay?
The stages of
And
grief?
Yeah, the stages of grief. If you can't get past the anger stage and you just keep killing little boys, like, you should not be a superhero.
Killing little boys?
Yeah, Robin, all the Robins. I think Alfred's the biggest villain. Like, he should have been on that, keeping Batman, like, coping and healthy. And then he just messed it up. He was like, no, you do what you want, Master Wayne. You're 7. You're really angry,
Oh, man.
Look, wait, he's not killing little boys. He's putting them in hot pants and making them work the streets. There's a big difference.
He's giving them work, really.
Yeah.
That never thought about that
I like
take.
that she basically was just like, Batman has fucked over more kids than Michael Jackson. Clearly he's
much.
not a good person.
I mean, if you think about it, yeah, she's right. Alfred is the biggest villain. He ain't called child services. Like, he ain't asked, where are you getting these little boys from? Where's they mama at?
He does just kind of show up with breakfast in bed like, oh look, another kid.
Yeah,
I just want, like, Alfred to be like, you know what, skim all this money off the top, Master Bruce, for whatever, like, you want. And then, like, I'll skim my money off the top of Wayne Industries, we'll just keep this all undercover. Like,
I've never had this discussion about Batman.
That is great. And exclusive stuff at Cosplay Fanatic with Jack of all nerds. That's what you get here. This is what you get from us, okay? You're not gonna hear this anywhere else. Now, what I found interesting between that and my own personal take on it is that Christopher Nolan hated Batman, and he decided he wanted to do 3 movies telling us how bad of a superhero Batman was. And I really feel that way, like from the first movie, and then, he did do Batman's background story pretty good for what he was trying to do, and he wanted it grounded in reality. But if Bruce Wayne had just died with his parents, everything in Gotham would have been fine. Like, if he had just went ahead and got... Wait, this is why though, like, I know it sounds bad. But besides all the kids that he, raises and gets killed, if he had just got shot with his parents, everything would have been fine. His dad had a plan to fix Gotham. Remember at the beginning when they were riding on the train was all nice and Gotham City was all beautiful, and they were like, yeah, but crime's starting to take over, but we're gonna fix it. This is our first step in fixing it. They go to a play and he's afraid of shit on stage, So they have to leave through the alley. There's no limo driver for some reason. They gotta walk to the street to catch a cab. These rich people. And his parents get shot. He never gets over it. He gets older and he runs away from his company. So the people that, you know, are on the board go, we're gonna take care of this for you. We're gonna take care of your company until you're old enough. It's running fine. They never say that there's a problem in the company, right? So he leaves to go steal his own shit. And while he's gone, right? He was like, I never became one of them. I stole my own shit. Right. So he leaves to go steal his own stuff. And then when he comes back, some of his stuff got stolen that he forgot to steal, the microwave emitter. And he has to become Batman to get it back. Now, if he had just stayed in Gotham, they probably would have not got stolen. Or he would have known where it was to not get it stolen.
If we're going to go there, then really, if Superman had just died on Krypton with everybody else, Metropolis would still be standing.
Okay, as the Superman advocate that had 2 seconds in the film, no, I'm a foot stomp on this one. Okay, no, that would not have been the case because Zod and them probably would have still went to Earth and messed some things up there. So they needed him on Earth. He's our savior. You saw the movie.
No.
He's Jesus.
Do you realize that how you guys sound right now, though? Is like, if they just didn't write the comic books, then
You know, Wonder Woman's still valid, though.
I'm not even going to argue that Wonder Woman, she's a great character. They just don't know how to revamp her for modern times. That's what I think is the thing with Wonder Woman. They're having a hard time trying to adjust her to the DC universe that they're clearly screwing up in these movies.
Did you watch the animated Wonder Woman movie?
Yes.
Yeah, they should have done that to live action. That would have been perfect.
Who could play her, though, that they would pick that would be a good Wonder Woman? China's kind of old.
Just get Linda Carter again.
any female wrestler.
Just get her.
Any of them.
Get Linda Carter again. She's, you know, keeping it tight. She was in Sky High. She was good.
Oh, Sky High.
Actually,
Time out. I love Sky High.
I did
It was a
too.
good movie, right?
That was a great movie.
I'll
Didn't
watch
get enough
anything with
press.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And he was great. He was so good.
I hate that when I go sidekick, people don't get the reference. You know? Sky High, great underrated movie. Y'all gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. But so in the first movie he screws that up, right? He gets his thing back at the end.
Oh, we're going
No,
back.
I gotta go back to
We're off
this.
of Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
No, we're gonna go back to Wonder Woman. I gotta explain.
He's really trying to throw Batman.
I gotta explain because I love Batman. I'm a huge Batman fan. I think the best stuff that they've done with him is honestly the newer games that came out, like Arkham Origins and City and stuff. It's like the best superhero games ever. But in Christopher Nolan's universe, everything is Batman's fault, and I don't even think that was his intention when he first started doing it. So at the end of the movie, Gordon tells him, you know, hey, you've escalated this thing so much, you know, now you're in masks, now we got this Joker guy. Man, well, I created this Joker, well, let me fix that, let me go stop this guy. So he goes and he stops the Joker that he created. Then he leaves again. We seeing a trend here? He goes back into hiding and leaves. And when he leaves, this energy project that he's stuck underground, he goes, oh man, they can make it a weapon. I've got an idea. Let me abandon it completely underneath this porta potty. And nobody will know. It'll be fine. So they leave it underground and Bane steals it. And, oh man, I gotta go get my shit back again. I gotta stop it again. So it's like everything that happens is just him reacting to his own screw ups over and over again.
Did he try to commit suicide at some point? No?
Technically, every night he goes out
Oh.
to do things, or when you choose to fight Bane when you got gadgets.
But see, I think you're a little off on. I don't think that Nolan.
not.
I don't think
I'm not.
Nolan hates Batman. What I think it was is I think that because in the first movie, I mean, he's just going with the source material, and in the second movie, you have this great performance of the Joker done by Heath Ledger, and then Heath goes and dies. I think Nolan was just so heartbroken over the death of Heath Ledger that he totally screwed the last movie. I think that's what it was.
That's. I'm gonna go with that.
I can see that.
I'm gonna go with that.
I mean, and everybody that knows me knows, like, I was watching The Dark Knight today. Like, I love those movies. I think they're great. I love the tone that he set for them. It's just, when I sat back and looked at him, I was like, he's really just fixing his own screw-ups.
Well, but here's the other problem, though, is that because the Nolan universe is really just a small fraction of the Batman universe in general. So, and I mean, I can give you some of those arguments, but there's way better Batman incarnations. I mean, what DC has done with Batman cartoons and Batman comics, like those things, I think are far superior. I mean, you watch. We were talking about this on one of our podcasts. Batman the Animated Series is one of the best,
absolutely,
just incarnations of characters in general when it comes to cartoons. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And it still to this day lives up as a great cartoon.
Yes.
And if you want to watch a great Batman movie, watch The Dark Knight Returns. That's what it is, right? Yeah, The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
No. Yeah.
You're the one that.
No, watch The Dark Knight Returns. It's it's basically Frank Miller's comic, and they turned it into a 2-part movie. It is amazing. It's so good, and it's kind of what Nolan was trying to do in the third one, just with way more. It makes way more sense, and it's way better. Like Batman has been in retirement for a long time. He's older now. And he basically doesn't know how to cope with without being Batman. He put all the criminals away, cleaned up Gotham, has no idea what to do with his life because he's dedicated his whole life to that. So he struggles with trying to not be Batman because they don't need him anymore. And then it kind of goes back to this whole thing where a lot of those villains are his fault because he gets in a situation where this new gang is taking over Gotham, so he comes back out of hiding to try to stop this gang, but it invokes all of these villains that are so tied into being battling with Batman that they all come back and start wreaking havoc on things. But he completely understands that the Joker is not the Joker without Batman. He knows, Joker knows that, but he knows that he can't be anything else but Batman. He has to be, but he can't. He's not okay with being Bruce Wayne. It's so good. You have to watch it. It's amazing.
See, and we can actually use this to transition back over to Wonder Woman. When you were talking about the animated film, and then you were talking about how great this Batman animated film is, I think the DC animated films are really, really well done because they actually have involvement from DC.
Right.
Whereas the problem with the studio pictures is Warner Brothers isn't having writers come over from DC to actually get their hands on these scripts. They're just hiring regular screenwriters. And that's definitely affecting the final product.
Yeah, which is probably why you're not getting any kind of Wonder Woman love, because DC really doesn't have a lot of control. They're not bringing in any of these people that I think would probably do a character like that. Really, I don't have anything against Wonder Woman. I think she's a good character, but Warner Brothers has no idea what to do with Wonder Woman, and they won't call in DC to come in and write for it. So
they need to kidnap some Marvel people.
I heard
to help them.
I was hearing there was a rumor Joss Whedon was supposed to write Wonder Woman, and then he had a storyline kind of like Captain America, but she would go back to Paradise Island where she doesn't age, and then come back for the Justice League movie. And I would have loved that. Everybody would have loved that. Would have been awesome, But then they're like, now you gotta change this. You gotta change this. Because Joss was like, fuck it, fuck y'all. I'm gonna go make the Avengers movie and make Marvel a shitload of money. Which, if you have Joss Whedon in your hands, you don't let him go.
that's true.
Right.
He's not a butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hold Joss Whedon. No Ellen.
Let me ask you something, in all seriousness. If they actually were to make a Wonder Woman movie, do you think they should include the Invisible Jet?
Oh gosh, I mean, I like the Invisible Jet just because it's classic, but no, nobody's gonna think that's cool. And I mean, I don't like it when they have the cartoons and she's in an invisible form. That's weird. In the animated one, I liked how they did the Invisible Jet because it was actually invisible. If you got inside, you were invisible.
You were invisible with
not
it.
you're visible, but nothing else.
That's
Worst stealth device ever.
It's one of my favorite Family Guy clips.
Yeah.
It's when Wonder Woman's sitting down and Superman comes flying up next to her and he starts talking to her and she's like, oh, this is awkward. I'm actually in the lavatory. And then she gets up and she walks to where the pilot is and he flies up next to her and he goes, I noticed you didn't wash your hands in the invisible sink.
I love that.
Doesn't she have the ability to fly Like,
They introduced that later.
And I was gonna say, in
Yeah.
some iterations, I thought she could fly on her own.
It was like, okay, original, like OG Wonder Woman, she could like, you know, leap tall buildings, kind of like Superman.
Yeah,
but she
she's the
couldn't
female
fly.
Superman, right?
Yeah, but she couldn't fly. Oh, well, no, she couldn't leap tall buildings. She just like jumped because like Amazons are crazy or some shit, and they fight kangaroos or something. And then like they had some weird ass shit in the old ones. Like
She's like, I fight kangaroos and panda bears at the same time. I'm amazing.
They had like some weird sorority girl bondage stuff in the old stuff. Like it's
Sweet, yeah, send me
My
some
kind of
links.
comment.
yeah, no, dude, it was. They had one scene I remember. This is off topic, but whatever. One scene I remember. They have this Nazi girl, like a spy or something. She calls the sorority girls, and then her fat friend Etta Candy, who is like her connection to the sorority girls. She's like, yo, you gotta take care of this bitch for me. And then they spank her into submission, and she likes the spanking so much, she becomes an American, and then like, she
Wow.
denounces the Nazis and becomes part of the sorority and gets a college education. And I was like, I don't know what this dude is writing. Like,
I am
he's
reading
weird.
the wrong comics.
Yeah, OG Wonder Woman got a lot of weird ass shit in it. Anyway, she couldn't fly.
I just became a
Little
huge
known
Wonder
fact,
Woman
That's,
fan.
spanking was really how they turned a lot of double agents back.
That's how they brought down the Third Reich. That's what it was.
None of y'all knew this? Now I feel I'm not
Had
making
nothing to do with
Oh,
the
that's great.
invasion.
That's great. That's why we have special guests for stuff like, because like I never would have known that. I never would have known that. That's the type of stuff that, you know, when you think Wonder Woman, you think the lasso and the bangles
Yeah,
and
right.
the shield that strangely is Captain America-ish. I don't know who came first. I'm assuming Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But
it was
yeah,
Wonder
she's
Woman.
like,
Don't-
yeah,
don't even.
it was, it was. And her shield just comes back with magic, right?
No, she like
I'm asking now. 'cause,
I don't
like,
know, original Wonder Woman. She don't need no fucking shield. Okay.
What's funny
She
is,
just
is
spanks bitches.
it's her powers are magical, and what's funny about the comics is that Superman is supposed to be weak against magic. So
Yeah.
theoretically, Wonder Woman should be able to whoop his ass. But as with all comic book characters, their weaknesses and their powers change as the writers
Right.
need them. It's just
Yeah.
like, you were saying that she didn't used to be able to fly, and it was the same with Superman. When he first started out, his powers legitimately were he could leap tall buildings in a single bound, and then that trend changed into flight
Yeah,
and all this
right.
extra stuff. So
Yeah, it just depends. And like you said with the writers, like even if you read like wiki pages and stuff, like the powers list, it literally will just go from, well, they used to do this, and and now he can do something with his eyebrows, I think, and then he took that away, and now he doesn't have eyebrows. Like they just, yeah, so they just constantly change all of this stuff just to fit whatever universe they're trying to fill. But I do agree that and I think we all do, when they do it in an animated format, they have more liberties to stick to the source material and tell a better story.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if y'all seen like Batman Year One, which
Right.
was awesome, and Under the Red Hood.
oh yeah.
I haven't watched it. I've heard that's really
That
good.
one, I literally was like glued to my seat like a kid. Like when I first saw like the X-Men for the first time back in the day, it was amazing.
Yeah,
Like
that
just
one's
to
good.
see from start to finish. Like if you haven't seen Under the Red Hood, absolutely that should be one that'll be in your catalog.
And then lastly, the one thing I do want to say though, that DC, aside from just their comic, because they do have really good comic books, but then their animated stuff I think is great. And the one thing I think they do really well is television. Just Arrow is one of my that's a show that they just nailed on the head. I feel like I mean we talked about it before, but just they do have a slight. It is on the CW, so there is a
You
little
gotta
bit
give
of that. Little bit of that CW stench, but it's not so. It's just one spray of Axe, just one.
One quick one.
They didn't bathe in it. They just little, and then you get a really great show after that. But that's one of the things because that's not
It's not Starling City 90210.
no. Has moments, but not quite.
Yeah.
Arrow has fucked every cute girl on that show minus one.
No, not even.
Yeah, not even. Well, no, because I don't think he's ever done Felicity.
No, he hasn't had
He
sex
hasn't.
with Felicity
It's gonna
yet.
happen.
I'm sure it will.
It's gonna happen.
They'll get drunk one night. It'll happen. But no, that's a great show. Especially, it's a great show based on a character that I don't think a lot of people know or give a lot of credit to.
Yeah.
And I just think they do a really great job with that. So.
They do. And then they're starting to do little hints of dropping in their other characters. You can tell they're trying to mix their DC universe together to build something. And I give them kudos for trying, but I think they're just better off doing the onesies on TV right now. Because it's, as a cinematic universe like they want to do, they're just not doing it effectively. But
and we've talked about it on this thing. Like they what they've done with Arrow, if they could just do that with the rest of their characters and make individual series, like tell me you wouldn't watch a Batman Year One TV show.
I would.
So down.
Like,
I would.
And then
fuck this Gotham on Fox bullshit. Yeah.
But yeah, they could easily do that and then make the Justice League out of those shows or something, because that's really where they're successful.
That would be great.
You know, I know they tried to do a Wonder Woman. They did a
Oh,
pilot
no,
that was
fuck that
horrible.
shit. Fuck that. Oh.
You know, but
I shouldn't swear so much. Whatever.
What happened with the Wonder Woman pilot?
They gave her pants first of all. Like, what is up with that? And then it was like
She was in a pantsuit?
it was
Like,
ugly
it was
house
like,
costume.
and it was like she was, what is it? She was like Diana Prince, CEO of some company, like basically Power Girls thing. And then she was also like Diana Themyscira, who was her assistant, and then also Wonder Woman. And I'm like, how the hell are you gonna be your CEO and your assistant at the same time? Nobody's gonna take your notes. Are you gonna leave the room and ask everybody to recap what happened?
She has an invisible assistant.
we're going to go ahead and close there. Y'all got to go ahead and check us out. I want to thank our special guest, Marie Watchke, for coming through, giving us some insight on Wonder Woman that I've never heard before. Like, it's very rare we have a conversation that, like, we say something new, and I think that was, like, amazing. And you heard it here first on Cosplay Fanatic with Jack of All Nerds. I'm Sam Ridley. We up out of here.